Hello ladies and genitals, and welcome to my first ever 90-day fiancé video. Recently on the show, there was some couples therapy. Ed cheated and people got very annoyed with him. Later on, there was a heated argument in the sauna and Ed got his little smoky out. Ed refused to defend his partner Liz when Angela hit her breaking point. Then they went through group therapy and Liz ended up telling us that Ed doesn't satisfy her in bed. Liz got so stressed out of Ed that she actually refused to share a bed with him for the night and slept on the sofa. They then went on to have a real heart-to-heart and both agreed to make things work. Which brings us to the present day. Let's hope Ed sticks to his word and tries to make things right between him and Liz. This week's episode starts with Ed and Liz attempting to swim at a beach together, but Ed tells us he can't swim, which makes you think he's most likely in the wrong place.
Can you swim?
A little bit.
Oh, we've never been in the ocean together. Because we've only ever been in a pool, not like...
I can swim like 4 feet. And then I sink.
It's ironic because every relationship he enters seems to sink without a trace too. But personally, I think Ed looks very flumptuous. Flumptuous. I think the word that I meant was buoyant, but he is kind of built like a lifebuoy. Perhaps this is foreshadowing because they are sometimes used to mark hazards in the water. We then see Ed's brought some of his own little inflatable floaties with him. Ed admits to us that he's a big scaredy cat of the water, but he's willing to brave it for Liz. But I'm not sure the blowing up armbands and other inflatable floaties was on her 2023 dating bingo card. But we eventually see Ed brave the water like the big brave boy that he is. They're also wearing matching swimwear, which is cute, I guess. However, it does appear the last episode might have actually set them up for some positive changes.
Last night, Ed and we had a good talk, and then we failed our homework assignment. The assignment was to explore arousal without penetration.
We would have got A for effort, F for a grade.
This is a happy F-.
So just like that, we see that Big Ed and Liz have bypassed their bedroom embargo set to them by their couple's therapist. Last episode, Liz said in the tell-all in front of everyone that Ed doesn't satisfy her in the bedroom. She told us all that this isn't something she thinks she can cope with. So this interaction is definitely an encouraging one, although they did kind of, fail their homework. But Ed thinks this is a glorious time to bring up that tough old question.
So, are you coming with me to Arkansas or what?
I will be more thrilled to have this conversation once we work through a couple more obstacles. I can already see little differences in a couple days, but...
No, I know we're not there yet, but I think we're in the right place.
Liz clearly is not yet convinced by this new side of Ed. It is understandable, because although they are seeing, positive steps and they've had a good night based on recent conversations, moving location for someone is quite a long and thought out process that can't really be rushed. It needs a lot of planning, timing, and dedication to, finding out what you actually want to do. It can't be a knee-jerk reaction. This does display great maturity from Liz, but it does also make you think maybe she can see through Ed. Could this mean there's a lack of trust? Could it also mean that she's ready to give up on him in her head?
Ed and I are back in a good place right now, but this is our pattern. I need to see permanent changes, not temporary changes from Ed.
I don't think the use of the word pattern here is a very good look for Ed. How many more chances is Liz gonna give Mr. Edward? Could this be his final one? But to be fair to Ed, last episode they said they both had issues they needed to work on. But so far we've only seen Ed's issues addressed. Obviously he has more, and he's a bit of a villain on the show. But so far, this kind of does feel a bit one-sided. When we see Ed and Liz visit P.T. Silvera, the marriage and family therapist, something really stood out to me here. The walk to the building did give me a good laugh when I was watching this. Liz is quite literally pushing Ed in the direction that he needs to go in, almost as if he's a lost dog. It really does stagger me that she feels the need to chaperone him for a task so little as walking to a couple's therapy session. But the opening conversation seemed to go well for Big Ed and Liz, and Ed displays some of that classic Big Ed charm that he possesses.
Oh, you look so tropical.
I downdressed to make her look better.
That's very thoughtful on you.
I know, right?
I love that.
Just like that, Liz takes off and leaves Ed for his hypnosis therapy. The marriage therapist tells us of all the tools that she likes to use on her client. She mentions that she uses past life regression. This exercise is supposed to take them back to a past life and try and heal past life trauma. She does, however, go on to mention that she's seeing good signs with our boy Big Ed and Liz. Apparently they gave the impression that they both seemed extremely engaged and wanted to improve. I guess it's great to see that they both want to take the therapy seriously.
But in the intake that I did, I was very engaged by Ed and Liz because They are highly sensitive people, and they absolutely are looking for healing.
So yeah, they've been sat down and spoken to about spiritual healings. I'm interested to see how, Ed takes on this route. I wonder if he believes in past life trauma. But there is one thing traumatic happening right now. Big Ed's grippers being on display. Look at the way he carries himself. Ed actually has a bit of a joke with the camera here. He compares the marriage therapist to Jenny, a previous 90 Day cast member. Jenny and Ed didn't see eye to eye, so he makes a little joke that Jenny might be here from a past life. And Liz actually appears to find this funny. So, maybe things are on the up for Big Ed and Liz.
Isn't one of my biggest fans, which means she could leave me in some period of time where I could never come back. Okay, now I'm afraid.
So the plan is in place, the spirits are high. Petey wants to get Ed relaxed enough to hypnotise him. Surely this will go swimmingly for Ed. Surely he won't, fall asleep or something.
And I want you to start by taking a really deep, easy breath. 3, going deeper and deeper, relaxed. 2, nearly there. 1. You're now in a deeply relaxed state.
What a complete and utter blithering idiot. Just when you think something might go right for Ed, he just straight up falls asleep. Guess it's a, hard day's graft, listening to your partner. After the rest of the boys think, what would be a great idea? Going to a strip club whilst we have relationship problems. We're brought back to Mr. Edward. Petey says that because Ed's lips are moving, he's in a deep state of hypnosis, and he's ready to start talking about his past life. They definitely had to wake him up behind the scenes, let's be honest. But amazingly, he starts to talk.
I've been here before. I have a elf, a leprechaun costume, and I'm alive, but I'm buried.
So Ed's having some past life memories about being a leprechaun. I guess the shoe kind of fits, to be honest. Maybe at the end of all of this, he'll find his pot of gold in Liz. Or maybe he'll just carry on being a little short man. But surprisingly, the therapist has never been spoken to about leprechauns before. I wonder why. She goes on to say she's looking to access Ed's subconscious, which, if I'm being honest, I don't really understand this. I just don't get how laying there with a bit of cotton on your face gives someone access into your subconscious. But if she thinks that she can heal this leprechaun trauma, then by all means, crack on.
I was small. I was like a dwarf, like that big.
Like a dwarf.
Like a performer in a circus. They would hang me upside down in metal shoes, and I would spin. I would entertain people.
It's ironic because that's literally what he is to the show. He's a small little man that people find entertainment from looking at. And the spinning is us mocking him for the stupid actions he takes in his dating life. But personally, I'm not a massive believer of what's being shown to us right now. I think it would just be very easy to find your own flaws and then just, make some sort of historical trauma about it. If you believe in it, fair play. I'm not mocking it. I just personally don't see how it works. But Petey asks Ed about his experience and asks what lesson has been learned. She also gives him some advice on how to fix the issue at hand.
What was the soul lesson that came through that lifetime on into the cell memories of this lifetime again?
That I'm not loved.
Yes. So now you see him. Do you see him with compassion?
Yes.
Send that love to him.
Again, for me, this is just Ed trying to, find an excuse for us to feel sorry for him about all the fingers that have been pointed in his direction. All of the laughs shared at his expense. All of the times people have, called him a cheat and tried to clown him for it. He's clearly very annoyed about it. He once used to message, YouTubers and, other creators that made videos on him. I remember he even once commissioned an artist to make memes about the people who make videos on him. Ed, if you're watching this, I'd be flattered. But magically, with the power of counting, Petey manages to bring Ed back to the current day and into his current body. He even does a little shuffle as if he's a little chick being hatched from an egg. He then uses his self-writing system to sit up and tells us that he's soiled himself.
I don't know if I just had a bad dream or what, because I was awake. I was awake the whole time, but I was asleep. I sort of kind of started to shit my pants.
You know what? I hope for his sake the show have commissioned this therapy. If I paid someone to make me lay down, make me see myself as a leprechaun, then I shit myself, I don't think I'd be in a very good mood.
And I almost want to sabotage. So instead of letting her break my heart, I want to break hers so I can walk away more powerful.
That's an interesting comment made there by Ed, because on one hand you can see he's aware of all the stupid and damaging actions that he's taken whilst being on the show, but you could also see it as like an attempted justification technique. He could be telling us all of this so that we feel sorry for him. Like, this whole exercise could be seen to the viewer as him trying to cover up all the mistakes that he's made whilst on the show, and I don't think anyone can be blamed for seeing it this way.
Past life regression, I mean, it was scary. I was made to feel different and inferior. But my humor has gained me more in life than it has hurt me. And now I definitely feel love, and Liz makes me feel love.
Well, there you go. Eddie Boy thinks he's repaired himself. Never did I think that after everything we've seen Ed go through whilst on this show, seeing himself as a 1669 leprechaun would be the magic cure. And he feels so strongly about this that he's gonna get one tattooed on his skin. Maybe they will one day grant him a neck. So that's it for my first ever covering of 90 Day Fiancé. I hope you did enjoy. But a teaser for the next episode shows Liz and Angela being put in a room together for the first time since the bust up. That will not be one to miss. And if you subscribe, you can see it here. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this. Please do feel free to leave a like and subscribe, because you know, it helps me out massively. Subscribing is completely free, and you can always unsubscribe at any moment if you get annoyed at the sight of my stupid ugly face. But yeah, cheers. Bye.